This will be episode 122, cycle 2067 and onward. Soda check, and water check. We'll do a priority check and make sure everything is functional and nothing exploded. As per usual. I still feel like I have to figure out how we're going to do nuclear, actual nuclear waste depositing. Because it's completely possible to do it. The problem is if I send any other fluids over during distribution process, it's going to cause a problem. And that's the thing I'm very worried about right now. I have to send over a little bit of nuclear waste first, distribute it into the particle accelerator that's on our other planet, and then I have to go and add any fluid on top of it. Preferably one that won't vaporize. I'm kind of like, maybe we send over a little bit of nuclear waste, then cancel the order after a little bit gets there. Like maybe, I don't know, 2 shots of 200. Then we send over petroleum afterwards, and then resume sending nuclear waste over. It's probably the way to go with this. First, do our usual check here. We'll need to take a gene and bring him home. Still in your rocket. Play. Still safe. Okay. Way back right now. Not getting boosted, are you? Nope. Not yet. One more tile and he'll be good to go. Check. That's up. Oh, yeah. Music will kick in once we go past our next cycle. Quite a few other systems need to be picked up. How much fluid is currently in the machine? Okay, 200 already. Let me do that. Hatches. They're not going to live here. Like, they're not going to survive, but at least they get a little bit of time out and about. Okay, also I need to continue working on this, but let's see here. All our piping done. Yes, it actually is. Okay, cool. Bigger problem is I need to separate you from you. Those two up. And I need to send... I guess we just send water? Like, in all honesty, I think we could just send water. And that should be fine. I need to clean the system out, and I don't feel like deconstructing this and reconstructing it to do so. I could probably just connect it to the actual... Yeah, I could just do that. You know what? Yeah, let's shove plastic into this one and clean it out that way. Then we'll drain the entire system over on Freudel. A lot of payload. Yeah, we'll drain this system. Butalin, I need you to start shooting this Not at Freudel anymore. I need you to fire petroleum. Nowhere. Anywhere but there. Script. Fire it over at the water planet. That'll do. That's now automated to fire that. Rutabout doesn't have anything automation-wise ready yet. Why are we out of power over here? Is there a wire that got disconnected somewhere that I'm not seeing? Well, that is connected. Have a wire explode somewhere? What's going on? Not getting enough power. All full, that's empty. I guess we're just not getting enough power. Again. Let's dormancy on you. 2.2 cycles. Oh, that's why. We're so close to having it where I need. Dang it, game. Okay. So yeah, we're just barely over power, and we do need the actual natural gas for that. Ah, that's so close. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yep, just run that. It's fine. Flip Palin, how you guys doing? Wonder's looking good. Power's also perfectly fine. What are you guys? Negative 1.2. 9. Oh, some of this is down to 400, so that's good. Temperatures, nothing is over 1,000 over here. Above. That's looking pretty good. This is going to take forever to cook, in all honesty. Not the worst thing I've ever had to deal with, but definitely up there. And how goes... Oh, yep, still out of materials. I need to ship more over. How you guys doing? Crowded, but not cramped. You guys can stay cramped in there. Let me go. And everything else. Germ check. Nope. Looks like we've eradicated all of our problems. So far, anyway. Construction-wise, I need to increase these. And getting the dupes to actually do this. Proximity. Pretty sure I can just take this wire straight on up and I don't have to worry about it too much. That's what we'll do. Yeah, that should be fine. You know, when I'm still like, yeah, it should be fine. Construction orders. I'm gonna put them all at 7. So I should eventually get around to doing it. It shouldn't be their primary directive, so to speak. I need to get all the piping done up here. That's really what needs to get finished. Frey, what's your schedule right now? I do need some downtime there. There. Should be a little bit better on the bathroom scaling. And I do need to dump petroleum here and here. An extra super coolant needs to be inserted into this. Eventually, we need a pip. Airlock, copper. Use a conveyor bridge. Technically, I can just use the plier tools, but I'd rather force pipe priority than separate it. I'd put it there and then separate it. It's probably easier if I just make it this way. I'll just use the wires, it's fine. I'll use the new tool. Also, you need to pick all that back up. And I need to store that immediately in the fridge. That is 9 priority to work that one. Currently offloading all of the extra ore. Which, some of it is quite cold. Which is good. Temperatures are 125. That's pretty good. That was bad. That was up to 150 before. Mind you, that's 160,000 kilograms worth of material. Just so I don't blow everyone's ears out. 65,513 rads. 425, 430, 2. Oh, these are close to 300. We're getting closer. Are producing more material. Pretty sure I can put a buddy bud back in there now. That off. Yeah, Bear should be the one coming on up here and doing it. I'm gonna deconstruct the extra insulated tile and then rebuild it afterwards. Should hopefully, yep, there goes Bear. And a hell shot's gonna be delivering. Okay. Weird, but sure. There you go, Hellshot. Okay. That's for 9. should be the one to build this. There's not. Nope, Bear might get shot. Yep. Right in the face. Sorry, Bear. Or you want to move over there, dude. Don't stand directly on the rad bolt generator. Hell shot. You good, man? Of course you decided to do this at the worst possible time. He's debating. Oh, he just ate the meal. Okay, that's fine. That's perfectly fine, bud. It's just like, ah, yes. I am now standing on the high ground. Haha. What am I gonna do now? Eat this meal with my hands. Alrighty, Duke. Alrighty. Also, priority that. Max priority that. And that one. I probably need to actually put the carbon scanner light over here in the corner. No honesty. Yeah. I could just vent this area, but it's like, screw it. That's fine. I don't really think I'll ever be able to get rid of our water heater. At least not anytime soon. There's just too much ice on this planet that all needs to be melted. Okay, so base cooling. Make sure they're all connected, then cancel the build order so I can replace the pipes. So yeah, this will be the main base cooling unit. This will be set for 30 degrees. Well, 28 degrees actually. Might actually just 30. The only thing I can't have it break was 26 point something? Yeah, 26.9. So yeah, 28 would probably be safe. 30 would be a guaranteed safety range. Also, Bear, I really need you to take care of yourself there. Sorry about that one, dude. You got shot in the face because I needed to move some stuff. There goes the dirt processing. How it goes. A lot of material. The bigger problem is, where are we going to put the really hot dirt? Right now it's at 196.2 degrees, and I'm like, well, I mean, throwing it into stuff is okay. I probably should cool it down first. I don't really want to have the bees get exposed to it again. If I can help it, anyway. Not to mention our water is still getting slightly warmed up, but not really going to get any warmer than it already is for the most part. May need to actually cool down internally in here. Whenever that door's open, they can build that to freeze it out. It's still liquid chlorine, right? Yes. I may just need to expose it into the room, but I really don't want to. My little tinies and betas are working really hard. It's always good. And yes, I do find it funny though, this room is going down in temperature just from both the cooling over here and also the fact of how much dirt we have. This stuff is actually cold. Which is really funny. It's technically emitting heat, it's just that it's so much colder than the environment that it's actually cooling down the entire room. Add in all the polluted dirt being room temperature, it's sapping a lot of heat. Oh no. That's a problem. Dupes, we need to mop that up so the system can work. CO2 at the bottom of my base. I know. Our filter system isn't working because there's water on top of the sensor. Okay, that should hopefully take care of that. What is that? Oh! Old hatch. Oh. It's massive. Grub statue. I did not actually grab this the last time. In fact, from a past civilization was analyzed. Grub statue. Very likely this statue was placed in a hidden, secluded place in the Gravitas laboratory since the creation of Grubs. A closely held secret that the general public was not privy to. This is a shame since the artistic quality of the statue is really quite accomplished. That's very true. Eventually this, though, needs to head over to Drapelin where all of our grubs will be. But for now, it can be used in our current base. Because there is so many Sweetles. I love these little guys, but there's so many of them. I don't know when we'll get access to the liquid sulfur geyser, but it'll be a while. I can't send any dupes in, and it's not like we can send a rover in there. It would die. It would melt. Like maybe a steel rover would survive, but that's about it. We would have to actually... I don't even think we can even get most of it out because the obsidian would still block it. And it wouldn't be enough. Now, also, dupes. Please get that done. We're slowly getting our shield built as well. Separated, that's good. I need to add a bridge. I'm thinking we do... Yeah, we'll do output on this side, so the cooling will come in from above, then go down. Out and around. Yes. And down. Yeah, that'll work. That up now. And actually, keep those two. It needs to be connected there, and then done like that. I can also branch out over here if necessary to remove the CO2 down here. That becomes problem. It probably will. Not a problem. So that's sweeping orders. Oops, please open that door when you get a second so we can clean it out. And up that. Um, there they go. Okay, I was about to say, I'm like, game, calculate that these need to be open, please. Thank you. We're opened. Really? Oh, a narcoleptic farming rocketer. Need a cook rocketer. That's my problem. I wouldn't mind this, but again, we need a cook. I need a mechatronics cook / rocket cook. Preferably mechatronics cook. Then they can stay on the planet and I don't have to worry about them. I think we're just gonna take the shiny nymph eggs. Not that big of an issue, but no. We'll drink some ice over there. I'm not gonna be able to build that, am I? Not there anyway. Yeah, that should work. Still have to get our natural farm tiles built in. If we can get a pip from the mini pod, I can start building now. That'll be a bit. Okay. Sever that for now. Turn off the excess plastic. That way this system will eventually completely fill. We can drain it. Also, why are you not dumping? Polluted ice. You know what? Yeah, screw it. We'll just dump it into the base. Fine. What I really want to bring it is probably just dump it in here or in here. You know what? No, I will need to actually manually put it in there. How do we want to do this? Fireball, ice. You know what? Yes, good. All manual use, non-sleep order. And we're just gonna grab all the polluted ice that pops out of here and shove it in there. That way we can just immediately convert it into clay once it off-gases. Because it will eventually warm up. And one shipment shouldn't destroy the entire system, so should be perfectly reasonable. Let me also check in on our fridge here. Why is that not taking? Was. Why is there no food here? There is mealwood, or sorry, not meal, but pickled meals somewhere in the base I'm not seeing. They drop it all the way down to the bottom? No. Should have still stayed in there. Unless they ate it. Dumped it somewhere. Like, oops, where'd you put it? Okay. Weird, but okay. I fixed it to where they would be put in and then pulled out. Don't actually know on that one. That's fine. How much polluted ice was in there? A lot. Okay. That one. Yeah. Keep that one. And over here we will do. Okay. Still 891.2 kilograms. Regular ice. Okay. Got that one taken care of. Some random nuclear waste over here. Where to put the ice? I mean, I could just dump it in here. It's just adding to my problems, though. Anyway, let's turn the nuclear reactor back on. Running hard, and has been. We're so slowly lowering the temperature. And it'll eventually kick off once the nuclear reactor starts going again. I guess we can just shove it in here for the most part. Other ice is fine. Priority. Snow will also need to be shipped. Snow there, that's fine. All of the polluted ice on the map. That means we need to immediately do filtration medium, regolith, and sand again. 9 and turn this off. Okay, it should be perfectly reasonable. We are down to plastic only. Okay, cool. So that has been completely drained. Once we fire enough rad bolts to drain this system, then we'll restart launching this again. Really? Yeah, We'll just have to wait for that to get sent via plastic. And that will prepare us completely for sending the nuclear waste. It will also separate the nuclear waste generation from there. The nuclear reactor is back online. Okay, cool. Everything is working out pretty solid. Double check on the tips here. Baby pipsqueak in there, so that's good. Definitely progressing. Always nice to see. Nah, nope, we're good. Okay. They start anything dangerous in here? Okay. Job dibs. Bigger question I have for my dude. Can they clean this up without incinerating themselves? I don't know if they can do it. We can turn all this into material, make it fall down. It will cool down. Slower, but it will do it. If I get a burning message, then we know what happened. So when it acts like it's toasted, that's exactly the problem. Let's see what else. Let's start adding our auto filters. I only need to send my excess gold for it though, for sure. Fleeing. From what? Oh, god damn it. Quantum tunneling poke shells. They punched the rock crusher, I think, or delivered to the rock crusher. Yeah, they delivered to the rock crusher and they got punched by a poke shell. Oh, god damn it. Not even mad, I'm just disappointed. That's the worst part. Not even mad about it, just... Damn it. Poke shells, why? Why you gotta do me like that? Why do you gotta do my dupe like that? So let's send the gold. Yep, scalding, there's the warning. I was waiting for it. Let's send the gold to main base. Should keep refilling there. Yep, burn. Burn. There's nothing I can do to stop him from getting cooked there. I know. Get one more tick, bud. Okay, move it. Stand underneath the raining water, you'll be fine. Sorry, bud. Yep, still too dangerous up here. At least for the time being. Alright, Vern. I'll get you to the med bed. As they stand in the nice cooling 100 degree water. It's way better than standing in 1,100 degree gas. Sorry, Vern. I had a feeling you were going to take damage. There's nothing I can do about that. There's so many payloads. Oh my god. That's what happens when you start getting the automation. It's great, but you have to automate the receiving end too. Okay, both of these are pretty much cleared. I'm gonna stop sending plastic for... Maybe get some obsidian sent out, but we're gonna refill the rocket and get everything prepared. Diamond's already filled. 44 cycles for you. Could go pick up the artifact there. 31 there. No one has an available. No one's available. I guess we could get more fullerene, actually. Yeah, let's go get fullerene and regolith. And... Could head over there. Screw it. I'll grab the destroyed satellite first. And now we're just going for space artifacts for the achievement and just to decorate the base. Well, they did finish it. 35 for 86. Big one. Where do we want to put it? Technically shove it over here, in all honesty. It could be cheeky. And I could do the stupid maneuver. Yes. I'm gonna say stupid maneuver. And I don't know if this artifact can actually fit here. I'll have to find out. Yes, it goes right next to my sage hatchet, where it belongs. How's Friddle doing? Dips, if you would please get that bill. And also, do that and that. No. I see what you're doing there. No. Use your stupidity at once. Yep. Too warm. Kind of expected. Immediately refreezing. Okay, dupes. Clean up the excess material. I don't have to worry about it much. And I will also there. Please go grab it. Thank you. Go. Does that impact the decor? It actually did. And immediately remove that and replace this with another latch. If this thing can float, it won't matter. As you can see, still impacts it. $90, radius of 9 versus 78 and a radius. That's pretty powerful. Yeah, that's pretty powerful there. It's only negative 32 now. I was bleeding red before. It's also applying all the way on up too. Yates. You know, that's pretty good. I'll take it. I love these space artifacts, they're always nice. I really want the micro universe, then I can just make some diamond tile like underneath all the beds and then just shove it in this room and then never think about it again. I could probably just make it float like right here. And the entire base would just be like, oh yes, like 150 by itself. I know, it's too cold again. Ow. Oh, it's getting there. Okay, rocket is slowly refilling. What are you guys doing? Okay, cool. Pretty much taken care of. I know, polluted ice. Melting. Oops, emergency. Polluted piss water is going everywhere. It's too powerful. Too much polluted ice. Ah, crap. Ah! Oops, clean up the mess, please. Probably just a little bit laying around. Only problem with being on an icy planet. So much polluted ice. And once it gets vaporized, it turns into polluted oxygen and gets really annoying. All of that is polluted ice. Get rid of. Alright, that. Ray, you can come back and eat your bun once you kill that thing. Get rid of it. Yeah. Hatch. Where are you? Yeah, you have a straight path all the way up, but why? Why would you go up there? Okay, we have gotten rid of everything else. Set it back for auto. And deconstruct it. Little bits of everything. Need to empty the storage. There we go. Need to collect all the liquids and everything else. All that ready. Dupes, me get that done. I would like our protective shell to be finished before I activate the meteorite storm from hell. Like, I would like to protect this planet and just rain regolith down on everything instead of, you know, wrecking everything. That would be a good idea. Space exposure? No, it is not. Still want to gold plate everything in here. The core is so bad in this place. Restriction. Eventually this will also probably get removed. I may actually need to have... I can't remember if I need an actual line of sight to space. I can always just add more stuff. Like you do. Add a strip like there and kind of think about it. Thank you, Frank. I know you're hungry. Make sure we get the tiles done, guys. Construction-wise... Construction, I want 9 priority for all of that. That. You're going to be without power from these ones for a little bit. Sucks, but there's really nothing I can do about it. And all these top 3 actually need to be scooted over. I've stated before, it's like, yeah, we were off by 1 tile. That's all because of the lab, actually. This needs nice, clean view range of space. I know, man down. Ladder, 3%. Or you gotta finish the wires, so that way we can actually connect the whole system. Otherwise we're gonna have a problem. I legitimately need you to get over there and finish that automation, otherwise we're gonna have an actual power problem for a while. I would rather not have to worry about it than sit here and go, ah, problems. Nope. No. Odo, you have a bed. Yeah, I know it's warm in there. It's like, it's 26 to 28 degrees. You have a bed, you know. Oops, ship out all the polluted water. Back online, good. Or actually, oh, absolutely perfect. Honesty? Okay, cool. There's a little bit of polluted oxygen. Oh, that would explain why. There's polluted dirt there. Okay. Like, where's that one coming from? Ah, yes. Rooming. Huh. Do I have clay in you? I don't know. A little odd. My best guess, lower oxygen values meant that the polluted water cut off gas. Come on. Printables, what do we got? Night Owl Green Thumb Researcher. Rancher with German medicine and Ludite. Constructive. No. Not what we want. Gourmet, building some flying, green thumb, unpredictable. I think we gotta take this again. Not doing this one, but sorry, buddy. Kinda gotta exist over here until cold gets you. So, Dupes, please dismantle that door. Thank you. Buildings. I know you're tired. Get this done. Nope, we have another fleeing message. Here, though. Oh no, it was Ricari again. Damn it. How hurt are you? Oh, yep. You got slapped. You got slapped once. Let's see. He's so crazy and now. Well, injured. Well, yeah. Wrong. Please move that egg. Good news is we are shipping all of our polluted dirt out. Bad news is it's a lot of it. And I do mean a lot of it. Every one of those stacks is like 25 tons. Crap. They've been producing way too much polluted dirt. We're just not processing it. And in theory, I could run that through the poke shell. And they would love me for it. But on the other hand... Alright. I'm gonna give you a sweet water and see where you take it. And they have all the polluted dirt that they devil put. not... Oh, yep, now they're starting to eat it. Okay. It just took them a bit. Oop. Let me redirect that. Okay, cool. So our rocket is already refilled. Dupes, I would like another round. Pickle meal. Yeah, we're gonna head to the satellite. 7... 8, 9, 10, 11... 14, 15, 16, 17... Could technically do a round trip, but he only has enough for one artifact. So we'll take off, get the other artifact, come back, refuel, then go get the other one. Oh, it's Gene's current era next. Gene, you're gonna want to turn around in like 3, 2, 1. Okay, we have target locked. Is bear? Yep, bear is clear. Gene, press the button. Fire in the hole. Off he goes. So collect the artifact, come back, refill, then start mining and collect the other artifact. Look, bud. Let me do a double check. 100%. Yeah, you're good. Andrew there, Tripola. Andrew's there. Nope, no eligible there. That's a marketable improvement. Give him that. Taking care of all of our polluted water problems. That's a good thing. Good. Good. Do the automation first, please. Thank you. I would like you to finish the cable. Once it's done, we're all good. Thing completely self-regulated. I press one button and we're safe. I know once we get to the Regolith planet, I may need to make the sea blocks. So we'll have to wait and see on that. Don't really feel like making door crushers, even though I know how efficient they are. Air crushers are such a weird mechanic. Like compressors, no, that makes sense. Crushers, they're weird because of teleporting resources. Spoon, come on, you gotta get that automation wire in. You can do it. We're all waiting on you. Spoon? Here. Oh, oh, that's Proto. Go, Proto, go! And which keeps going back to build. Please be Spoon. Go way faster. Boom. Base is coming along quite nicely. Biggest thing. $300. Spoon, you have way more important things to do than the door. Don't worry about my dupes, I swear. Okay, fine. I'm going to force the issue here. There. That should force the issue. Get the cables done, dupes. Please. All I ask. Once it's connected, problem solved. Thank you, dude. Oh no, the one's unreachable. Taking the way. I don't think they can reach it from there. Nope. I'll do it from this side, so that way they don't get stuck. Alright, that's now not unreachable. According to the game. In case, adding a second line. Okay. Connect the wires. Is complete. A big problem. Waiting for these to open. We now have the signal to open. Now we wait. Ah, it feels good. The doors are slowly opening. Okay, let me high priority these ones to get it done. Yep, should have light soon. But why are you having a bad time? Pause. Buggy feet, low action. Hold it. Getting wet has been your biggest problem. Worry about it. There you go. Got low morale while he was wet. Only the problem. So now I'm priority that to clean that up. That. I need to remove that. And that one. Oh, they can't climb back up there. There we go. Okay, this is now completely deep safe and technically asteroid safe. That is a huge improvement. Okay, we are getting some obsidian in. Probably stop sending it. Need to send a little bit. What other materials that we should send over? Possibly more aluminum? And probably more. How's our sewage system working? It's still going good. I'll say this, most of this is probably going to get flooded. Once this gets cold enough. Be Talon, can you? Oh, eligible rocket. Oh, oh, Neos is definitely, Neodeuces is definitely using the hot tub. Ah, good job, man. Good job, dupe. Do me proud. Did you just eat it all? Sure, I don't have. Or just the thing I need to keep an eye on. Nope. Oh, that's safe. And where'd all my chlorine go? I assume their happiness went over a certain threshold and they just devoured all the chlorine. That's normally what happens. Activities also 5.5 cycles. The good news is we have tons of bleach stone for them to eat from, so that's not really a big deal. That one. So nice to see all the doors in unison. That's some good stuff right there. We are now completely protected when we activate the temporal tear. Thank goodness. I will obviously have to connect it before we do so. And then probably leave the one door open. Which is its access point, specifically this space. So this is all nice and installed so we can switch it around when we need it. But everything else will be completely protected. I don't have to worry about it too much. Is there anything else I need to do besides get super cold over? Or I should say, probably more super. Okay. That and follow the door. You know, we have plenty of copper now. I mean, our copper's renewable, so should be fine. You boosted at the moment? Nope. Brave Apollo 0.5. Ooh, and very soon. Mop that up. Oh. Yeah, I'll just do a copper door, it's fine. If we're dealing with heat, still only dealing with cold. Bigger problem is I need to open this up. I need to seal it in as quickly as possible. Okay, if some critters get out, and none of them are really going to survive anyway, so not that big of a deal, but okay, and then I need super coolant. Link that to that. Get it up. Some more ladders. Reach the rest of the pipe network. Actually, we're probably going to have... Yeah, we are. We're going to have a natural tile set right here, because this will just be a vacuum. There won't be any temperature transfer from this side to this side. So, yeah. These 3 tiles will eventually become a vacuum. That's not terrible. I'm thinking about it. And this will have a lot of machinery in it because it's all going to be steam turbines. I may end up separating here as well for steam turbines. We're probably going to need a couple. It is 4 active iron volcanoes. So that's what, 9 total steam turbines to run the entire system without much issue. In most cases. That's without overclocking. Glow stick dupe. Rocketry building tidying. Undigging. Damn it. I love me my glow stick dupes, but you're not what we need, Ashkin. Hydrophobic, doctoring building tidying, caregiver yokel, no way. No to the yokel. Hydrophobic's not a big deal, but undigging glow stick with rocketry building and tidying. Not what we need, man. I need you to be a cook so you can survive here on your own, and a mechatronics engineer in case anything breaks so you can quickly repair it. Grab more eggs. And what a good dupe here. There's going to be one dupe left behind here who's going to forever live on this planet and help me move things. That's his entire purpose. To cook, grow plants, possibly Paku, and maintain the base. That is it. There's ice in there, and I really need to get that out of there. Waiting on the super coolant to come running back through. There we go. Yes, this will absolutely explode once it warms up, so for now it'll work. I do need to make some more cooling loop systems here. Those for that. You know what? That for one. We'll do 3. Sorry, Proto. You need to do that. Oh, radiation. Let's get the bees. Oh no. What? How? Hey, Tinies, how did you pull this off? Dips, I really need you to get down there. Yeah. Crazy, could you, preferably not get stabbed by the bees and save the hives, please? Thank you. There we go. There we go. Okay, hives are safe. No idea how that happened. Oh, yep. That makes sense. I was like, where's the radiation warning? Ah, one of the hives was running. Perfect sense. I think I might want to restructure my base cooling loop with supercoolant instead. It's tempting. I could just filter in supercoolant and then filter out the polluted water. Downside, obviously, is I'd probably have to take it from here and then filter it through this system and cross over a couple pipes to dump into here. Gene's already made it. Nope. He's almost there. 0.2 cycles. Alright, Jane. You gotta bear with it, buddy. I know, breathing with oxygen here again. Crap. Crap. Oh, there was polluted water in there. God damn it. Well, that's a problem. Oh, that's a hot tile. Why is that so hot? The gold just that insanely temperatured? No, it's 24 degrees. Oh, it was cable, wasn't it? Yep. Ah, the gold absorbed the energy from the iron. Yep. It's too hot. Too hot of iron. It was too powerful. Also need to run more frost buttons. There's the 10. Okay, cool. So that one is done. We emptied out our fluids. I think we have. Okay, so we've sent over little bits of aluminum here and there. I'm going to stop sending aluminum. Still got plastic in it, that's fine. It's time we did the thing. At least prepared it. 165. Back up and check. 17,313. Dang. Oh, that's powerful. It is now time to flood the system with nuclear waste. Just a little bit. Just enough for a single launch. The reason being is we want one single launch. I can have it right here. Then I can fill in the rest of this and then add in petroleum on top. And then that will allow us to hyper-compress this. I want at least 250 kilograms of petroleum in there. So 2 shipments. And I need at least 2 to 3 shipments of nuclear waste. So 600 kilograms. That should be enough. Hopefully. Now then. Because he made it. Recharging. Awesome. Change location. We're heading home. Refuel on the way back. I'll be a successful artifact recovery. We'll refuel, and then go for another artifact item. And just keep doing that. Oh. Actually have a little bit of crude oil here. Good job, Slickster. I gotta be careful of the temperatures a little bit. There. I hate when this happens. Should have deleted some of it. Just a little. Not enough to make a dent. You know what? Nah. There's gonna be so much spaghetti. Not terrible because it's all straight lines, but it's like, oh god, this is going to look terrible. No matter what I do. Oh, wait. No. Wait. I'll be back. Wait. And set that for open to make sure there's nothing in it. Then we dismantle. Right? Right? Well, it is producing more nuclear waste. Steam fossil. The preservation of the skeleton occurred artificially using a technique called the ONI method. You know that this fossilization technique was pioneered by Dr. Ashken Savi Allen. Huh. So, Ashken's clone. Neat. I should say Ashken's dupe. More specifically. I have no idea where I'm going to put that. I want to find a spot to put cooling dirt down, but I'm like, not seeing a spot for it. Somehow our interplanetary launcher took damage. I have no idea. It's only 64.1 degrees, and by the way, it's in space. There wouldn't be any temperature transfer. How did you take damage? Power line? No, it was you. I just want the copper ore as repair. I have no idea. It's very hard to damage an interplanetary launcher, so I have no clue how that happened. Also, 2 warm it. Am I leaking temperature somewhere? Because this has been going on for a long ass time without issue. 1,739 without issue. Dirt, isn't it? Yep, it's the dirt. As I said, you need to find a way to cool it down. At some point. Probably going to end up accidentally overcooling this. And that's fine. I'm more worried about these guys. Too hot of dirt. Actually a problem. Come on, Dips, you can do it. 3. Yeah, we definitely need to chill this stuff down. That should hopefully do it. The dirt's going to be warm from now on for the most part. Not all of it, just some portion. Almost tempted to just add insulation, aka ceramic for this. Okay. Oh. Insulate as much as I can. This is what late game ONI looks like. I think I've yet to figure out how to use more than 50% of buildings in the materials you have here. Ah, gotcha. Also, yep. I'll go triple strike. Currently readjusting some basic temperature systems while I'm debating about where we're going to cool down our dirt from. As I'm producing enough dirt, it's just that we were messing around with radioactive plants and their consumption rates went through the roof. I was like, okay, let's just finally clean up the giant pile of, well, that. So it's like, okay, cool. So we're just kind of getting rid of all of our polluted dirt right now. And it doesn't really do anything. At least at this point. Everything else is nice and well regulated. These guys are fed on polluted dirt that's produced inside the base. But this was all just excess. We're still trying to move it. There's more below, by the way. But I'm just shoving it down here while we slowly cool down this area and also get rid of all of it. I could melt it down into glass, but meh. There's really no point. Right now I am currently just producing more nuclear waste to start shipping out. Already got some small amounts of it being sent, which is really good. And yep, there we go. Leak. Okay, so all the glossy jerkos are fine again. I just need the dupes to come over here and clean up all this next to the salt water. I was upgrading some of the insulator tiles to ceramic so I don't have to worry about it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Yes, that's all done. I'm pretty sure Gene's on his way back. His food. Oh yeah, 93. He's good. But yes, we will be filling our little particle accelerator up here. Need to make sure we have everything prepared. That. And that. Yep. Climb over that for now. All of that aluminum. Most likely. I want to actually add cooling loops, because, well, there's going to be a big one there. Not there yet, but it will be. Keep playing for that. You should have nuclear waste. Yep, 165 of nuclear waste. That's the surface of the main central biomes of the first asteroid, let alone start using rockets and nuclear power. Yep. I mean, the base always starts somewhere. The entire playthrough, by the way, is up on YouTube. If you ever want to use any of that for whatever reason, learning purposes or otherwise. All of these episodes go on up onto YouTube because my subscribers really wanted it, and they want it unedited, so all of my mistakes and then all the fixes that we do, all of it's there. Yeah, I did end up coring out the entire planet, which is nice. It just took a while. I tried a new technique with this playthrough, actually, using a water blade that I was devising out how to do it. And, yeah, it worked great. I mean, I had 638 kilograms of steam per tile, but yeah. Yeah, the way that I did the coring process was that I used mixed liquids. And the reason being was if you use salt water, brine, water, and polluted water all together, what'll happen is that the water types don't mix, so they will try to compress each other, and the steam will end up creating high pressure areas versus low pressure areas. So it just shatters abyssally, as well as all the magma just gets obliterated because it's just, ah yes, I exist. Oh, I am now experiencing 400,000 psi worth of pressure in a single tile, and then it would just shatter its way through everything. And then because it was technically flash changing state, it was solidifying as it went. It was actually extremely effective. I was very, very impressed with how fast I was able to just punch a hole right through here and then just go this way. This entire chamber was just water. It was all mixed. But it worked very, very well. Cleaning it up, obviously, was a little bit of a pain in the ass, but it was all converted to steam, so I didn't have to care. I just had to make sure I got rid of all the magma and the temperatures. Yeah, I was debating if it would be possible to do it, and it worked like a charm, so I was like, okay, I'm going to use that technique from now on whenever I'm dealing with magma. I've also been slowly but surely just getting rid of all of this. Yep, the gaseous bulldozer, exactly. It's just a water blade, but in a mixed format. But yeah, this is a flipped asteroid. This is one of the hardest asteroids to deal with, in all of Not included. Mostly because you don't have access to space. So, and all of it is well, it's connected to lava. So the best way you can do it is find an entry point, and then start steam turbining your way to victory. It is a slow and tedious process, but it is definitely the best way to go. Technically, I could land a rocket on the outside, and then dig my way in, but it would still just be as much of a pain in the ass no matter what I did. So it's like, screw it. We'll just find an entry point, dig our way through, and then go on in. And I will be building a natural sleet wheat farm specifically for Experiment 52B over here. Thank goodness they've nerfed him. Because, man, that thing used to eat all my food. Like, hooray, he's not terrible anymore. Also, our Paku are still making food. We got 89,000 kilocalories worth of food to process later. All just sitting in the fridge. A lot of meat rations kind of hanging around. All from the puffs floating about. I will be building my space station there, so there's that. I need a waste chair. Send it on its way. Do we have any other mixed fluids inside? We do not. Okay. I think it is time we connect this to this. They also added the plier tools by default. So this used to be a mod. This is now base game. This thing is fantastic. Oh no, there was actually petroleum inside of it, even though it wasn't being listed. Game. There was no petroleum in here. What do you mean there was some in the pipe? Ow. It can't be sent without it being connected. Right. Oh, that's a problem. Is it going to delete it? Find out. Yes, it did. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Dupes, I need you to come over here and do this. Actually, just enough. And that will be cooling down pretty quickly, so I don't really need to worry about it too much. Okay, so our nuclear waste is actually in position. Now I just need to get over some petroleum. Not send too much waste. What are you at right now? 87.4. Okay. Oh? Is our enriched uranium not being sent for some reason? Like, wait. Nothing in the container. Check our pressure weight. Need to make sure. Just waiting on autosave to finish. There we go. And we still have 18.6 tons of the stuff. Let's see. Yeah, that was disabled. I set that for... No. You just filled the machine. Thank you. I played ONI when it launched in the alpha state. 2017? I forget exactly when it was. It's been a while. I've been streaming ONI since, actually, in all honesty. Like, I'm a variety streamer when it comes down to it. Like, I used to stream MapleStory all the damn time. And a bunch of other games. And then ONI came out and it was just like, absolutely loved it. Okay, there we go. Now, why are you having a problem? What are my UPSs starting to get worse? I'll probably need to increase this to 5%. There we go. Hopefully. Hopefully that will fix the problem. At the moment, nuclear reactor's not going because it's not got anything else. Oh yeah, that's true. I will admit, I did discover something in this playthrough that's absolutely, like, mind-boggling. You will notice that neutronium looks normal when experiencing standard radiation from all other sources. When the nuclear reactor goes off, well, I'll show it once we get our actual enriched uranium there. But there's a really weird reaction between the nuclear reactor and neutronium now. Let's see here. Gourmet, no. Iron guts, pretty good, but gourmet, nope. Trouble taste buds, Luddite, not what I'm looking for. Heading ranching, building impaired, Chevy Jester, and small bladder. And none of these are terrible or good. Oh. Double strike. Thank you for the follow, man. Again, welcome. I think I'm just gonna call him the Puppet. Let's see. Still... These guys are all doing just fine. This goes off in 1.7 cycles. I also enjoy the Spud. The mighty Spud. I guess we could bring the Puffed in here. It's not really a big deal. Just kind of exist. Spud. I approve. Response. I'll give you the sip. Nice. Yep, everything here on my channel I've made myself as well. You know what? I think I'm just going to leave the polluted dirt out there. Really nothing for me to use it in here yet. But yes, I do enjoy my, I do enjoy the emotes I put together myself. They're all rendered in Blender and then compressed and adjusted for, Twitch specifically. Took a long time to get it done, but it all worked out pretty well. Nice. Thank you. I do need to pretty much find time to actually work on my personal model. I know it's been a constant thing here where I'm like, yeah, we took most of November working on it, and then it's just, we didn't have enough time to finish it all because, well, water heater exploded, a family member got sick, and then I had to deal with a bunch of other shit that all went down on the same month while I was already planning, like, yeah, we're not going to stream that month because I'll be working on my personal model for stream purposes. And then that all went to shit. It's just like, still worked on it a lot, but it all went to shit all at the same time. And it's just, great. Wonderful. Worst possible time all of this could have gone down. I think the worst part was the water heater one. Is the water heater, we couldn't get replacement parts for like almost 3 weeks, so the entire time it was just, congratulations, you don't get to shower. Like, it was miserable. Just, it was bad. It was really bad. Yeah, I'm debating if I'm going to take off April or not, this coming April. And I'm like, possibly. Because I definitely want to finish the actual model, because I just want it done. And I can add any type of upgrades or any other parts that I want to put onto it as well. Yeah, exactly. And the best part was the month after the water main broke down the street. Thankfully it didn't affect us, but it affected everybody else for some reason. We're on the other one, and I was like, oh, thank God. It's not us. Yes. I'm saved. Like, yeah, I know. Like, we were getting water main breaks left, right, and center last year, right at the end. But it was just, thank goodness it didn't hit us. Thank goodness. Okay, how much polluted... Okay, we're at 709 nuclear waste. And 193. I need to get petroleum over here. Talon... You can stop sending it there. We need to send it there. Hey, the railgun. There you go. Ah, yes. One of the best things that you can do, specifically due to how auto sweepers work, conveyor loaders will actually prevent your grade haul, because the conveyor loader is classified as industrial equipment. The auto sweepers are not. And auto sweepers can go through actual pneumatic doors. So one of the cool things that you can do is let me head over to Redult, is you can technically make a room and have your conveyor loader for your kitchen still accessible while not affecting any other room. The downside, obviously, is that you're going to end up using a lot of doors. So you end up with this tiny little 2-tile room with the auto sweeper and everything else. I'm pretty sure this is as tight as I can get it. Yeah. Because the doors will actually count as a room blocker without actually impeding anything going in and out. So if I have one to do, I could technically add more in here or in here to connect to this actual conveyor loader. Possibly one below, and that'd be tight. I don't think that would reach. It might just barely. I'd probably have to flip it up. Yeah, I have to flip that over. Because technically the auto sweeper is actually connecting to the bottom of them. There's so much ice melting in here. Oops, can you... Well, we'll just deal with it. It's just lots of water falling everywhere. But yes, the thing that you need to remember is... Well, the thing that you need to learn in ONI, I should say, is where object conveyors connect. Yeah, exactly. But that's just to make it so that way the conveyor loader doesn't interfere with the rooms. Because again, industrial equipment destroys barracks, it destroys recreation rooms, kitchens, etc., etc. What's hot? Why are you getting a hot warning? There's nuclear waste there, 6.6. Look. Why is there 6.6 kilos? Must have melted out. No. Either way, We need to get more petroleum over here so that I can compress this. Yep. No more nuclear waste being sent. Hopefully. There shouldn't be any more. Make sure the pipe is cleaned. So we will separate this, and we will reattach this one. Cancel for any build orders. Okay, good. I'm also going to send some over immediately, if we have any left in our system. 200 kilograms. Reason you put the doors in the V-shaped tiles? Which one specifically? Like if we're talking about for room configure, the one filled with liquid. Oh, these are airflow tiles. These are not doors, specifically. Airflow tiles do not break under pressure. If there is a gas inside of them, they don't explode. So the thing is that as long as they are not in space... Okay, no, not those. Are you talking about for this room specifically, or the doors in the shape? Hang you autosave. I just zoom out. Are you talking about for the T blocks, specifically? I assume that's what you mean. Okay, so these are a liquid lock. The way that it works is, especially for this one, once the polluted oxygen's out of there, the way that it works is technically speaking, this will be a vacuum, and then you'll have two non-temperature transfer mediums on each side. If I go over to... Alan got one? Yes. You could either keep the door outside or inside of them. But what this does is, there is no temperature transfer from this side into this side, because there is a vacuum between them. So this is an airlock. The way that the airlocks work in general, especially for room calculations, you can put the doors into the airlock to allow you to get a bigger room. Or you can put them out in front of them. But this is a completely sealed fridge. Everything in there is currently in a deep freeze state and sterile environment, because this one has CO2 in it. I also use chlorine, but thankfully chlorine at room temperature is fine. If it wasn't at room temperature, I would have to cool it, and cooling chlorine is a pain in the actual ass. Warming or cooling it is a nightmare. Mostly because the thermal conductivity on chlorine is 0.008. Oh boy, this thing does not enjoy transferring temperature at all. Because for reference, oxygen, 0.024. Fluid oxygen, 0.024. Liquids, fluid water specifically, 0.58. This thing doesn't transfer at all. It also doesn't transfer diagonally, even while being the same material. You will notice up here is 29 degrees, 25 degrees, 26 degrees, and 23 degrees. And then 25 over here, 23 over there, 23.2, 22.4, and 30 over there. Yeah. The temperature will never normalize in chlorine, because it would require literally the heat death of the universe for the temperature to stabilize. You could use chlorine or CO2 for a fridge. Either one is perfectly reasonable. Chlorine is actually normally the preferred method, because chlorine also eradicates every single germ on anything in there. You'll notice that the germ meter is just falling like a rock, and that is because the chlorine is killing everything inside the tank. Let me try to see if I can get the internals here. Yeah, germs. Surrounded by chlorine. Half-life, 11 seconds. Change rate, negative 16,000 per second. It's currently adding it's technically adding infected water into the system from the toilets. But it doesn't matter because it's just all dying. Oh, it's completely full. So now this will start dying. Yep, there it goes. 100,000 germs just wiped off the face of the earth. But yeah, chlorine is fantastic. It's one of my favorite resources in this game, while also being one of the most annoying resources in this game to work around. Because if you're dealing with hot chlorine, it takes forever to cool it down. And if you're dealing with cold chlorine, it takes forever for it to warm up. Both of which are kind of nightmares. When it's at room temperature, it's great. And CO2 obviously is just your usual fridge system in most cases. I have been using a lot more chlorine when it comes into it. This time around we did use a lot of actual CO2. Let Germany water sit in the reservoir and chlorine yep, it will disinfect everything. Also, if you add the extra layer of putting it up near space, if you have the DLC specifically, radiation kills everything it touches. That's not a joke, actually. So a lot of the times I will just put it inside, like put any kind of bathroom up in space, or at least as close to it, and the radiation will just kill everything. Great. Because germs can't handle, you know, 272 rads per cycle. For a human being, this would be deadly. For a dupe, this is just Tuesday. Thankfully. But yeah, also Wheezeworts do give off radiation, quite a bit of it. Even either naturally planted or if you're just burning off phosphate, just because meh. But yeah, they put out about 495 rads per cycle. Put it near a toilet, it'll just kill everything. Over here on Flipalm, I actually shielded my dupes on this side and then let the radiation affect this. And this also kills it. They are affected, but every time they poop, aka go to the bathroom for the day, they will immediately just dump 100 rads. If they don't have 100 rads, they'll just immediately go to 0. If you have a glow stick dupe, they are also 33% resistant to radiation, even though they themselves are actually releasing radiation. Glow stick dupes are one of my favorite types of dupes. They can reach 110% radiation protection, so technically speaking, they're the only dupe in the entire game that can go in this room. And then on the other hand, they're the only dupe in the game that can even go anywhere near what I'm creating today. Because I should mention, that is 27,386 rads per cycle. The nuclear reactor going at full tilt, its core only goes to 11,706. Yeah, my glow stick dupe can go in this room safely. I am actually terrified to allow them to continue going into this room. Because it's only going to get stronger. And this is actually self-reciprocating because I'm actually causing more radiation production by nuclear waste by using rad bolt generators, colliding them, and also colliding them with the airflow tiles, which then also creates nuclear waste. And then that is pumped into the system. Currently, we have 165,944 kilograms worth of nuclear waste in the tile. I am making a particle accelerator. Oh, I've made a particle accelerator, I should say. It is specifically for refueling rad bolt rockets, as well as interplanetary launchers. So apparently we're taking more damage again. That's the nuclear waste leaking out. That makes sense. But yes. So if you want to refill a rocket and do multiple rocket launches in a single cycle, you need to be making around 4,000 rad volts per cycle. 4,000 rad volts per cycle is a nigh impossible task from even 2 nuclear reactors. As again, that's 11,000 rads per cycle. I am currently with let me go up here. With 27,000 rads per cycle, with a small radius distance, this is as tight as I can get it. I am getting 4,000 rads per cycle, or 400 rad bolts per cycle. And we're running 4 of these things. So 301, 440, 440, and 301-ish. And that is the only way to effectively be launching many Red Bolt reactors simultaneously. Also, I'm using these other ones because there's more space. Technically, I could slap in 2 others, and that would give me another 500. Yeah, 500 Red Bolts per cycle. These things fire off at 50. But I could technically fit 2 more in here safely. And I would still be able to create more Red Bolt or more nuclear waste via the process. But these do eventually start cascading, as you're seeing here. I have a lot of nuclear waste just kind of floating about, all of which is needed specifically to accelerate the process of refilling nuclear rockets. You will also end up needing to use this exact same design, pretty much, when you want to finish the game. So, as a small spoiler, you will find what's called the temporal tear. I know that Cly has shown it off in the trailer, so I don't mind talking about it too much for anyone that is new to Oxygen Not Included. But the temporal tear does need Red Bolts, which means that you need to either have nuclear waste sent over, or you need to send a nuclear reactor over to refill the system. Because the planet, it's about 250 reds per cycle. It's okay. It's not great. This would take a while to fill this entire system. It is doable with one, but say you wanted to, I don't know, land a rocket here, and you wanted to refill it. You could either go with a hydrogen rocket, which would mean that you need to build liquid hydrogen here, or ship it over in solid form, which is a pain in the ass, or you could do nuclear. And personally, I say nuclear because this is all that is needed for a nuclear rocket. It's tiny. It is ridiculously tiny. Yeah, it's 18 tiles. That's all you need to build a nuclear rocket refiller. For a hydrogen rocket, even with the smallest one that I can think of, you're pretty much going to be running a 36 tile spot. Exactly. Yep. Yeah, most people build these in space. I like building them actually in atmosphere, and the only reason being is that I can use the heat generated from these to keep the base at like 25 degrees. In most cases. I always end up accidentally overcooling everything and just overproducing shit, as you can see. Just like, it's always been a problem. I always end up overcooling everything in this game. I end up producing too much water and too much oxygen and too much cooling. It's very easy to accidentally do that. And this one is exact. Because I've done this one multiple times in testing. This is exactly the amount of cooling required. And this keeps it a nice solid 11 degrees centigrade. Yeah, so I need to go clean up the supercoolant that we were leaking out. Pretty sure some of it melted. The ice around it, maybe. I think it did, and it got scooted out. Too much liquid. That all yeah, that's all CO2. Shit. It's so cold. Crap. Okay. That is completely full now. Let me do that. And that. Move the bridge. And I need to install one there. And then we will disconnect this pipe once it's finished. Actually, we'll do it beforehand because I literally just need a blob. I need to move one out of here. I just gotta let the system do its own thing here, and it's like, I need to clean that up. That's not to leave supercoolant laying about, especially when we need to fill. We need that supercoolant to fill this entire pipe here. It's also quite hot. On average, most of your nuclear waste is probably going to come out at 140, 150, which is actually quite useful for heating up areas. This entire base is like -5 average, I think, right now. Yeah. You get 32 in there. We're getting some warming over here. Taking a while. clean all of that up. Drain that system. I literally just need to fill both of these, so it's like, screw it. We'll have 2 tiles for each, so one for the primary loop and one for the secondary. And we'll reconnect them afterwards. Okay, that should flow back around. I can remove this now. Dupes, I need you to put all the supercoolant back into the system. Go from there. Also, grab that one, that. Wait, how do you... You're in a suit. How do you have hypothermia? Wait, what? Frey, how did that happen? Explain. I demand an answer on that one. Temperature's over here, 2 degrees. I don't know how they got it. What? They're in a suit. The place I could think of is maybe here. They were instantly immersed too long or something. The only way that would have happened. Oh, they're back to normal already. Never mind. Waiting for that to connect up to that. Get that cycling again, and okay. Let me disable that. Wait for this to come back around. This will fill this system. And I can just separate it and reconnect the whole thing. Just waiting on this to come finish. Should hopefully be enough. Also, dupes, please mop that up. Supercoolant is expensive. Kind of. If I didn't have an infinite supply of it, I'd be a little bit more miffed about that, but thankfully we do. All the resources required to make infinite supercoolant, so... Which is great, and it's very close to base. Okay, almost done filling the whole thing. There we go. Okay, so that is now all nice and hooked up. And that means I need to do... There we go. And while I wait, make sure we disable the pump. And, yeah, oops, please grab that. Okay, so we now have 200. I want to send one more blob of petroleum in, and then we'll start pumping only nuclear waste into the system. Okay. There's all of our excess materials. Dupes. You know, we need to make more frostbones. I'll have Pro to work on that. Spoon and Ray help with everything else. Oops, can you guys move the ice, please? It stops, you know, oozing on everything. That would be great. We are taking damage because we have nuclear waste in the machine. That's fine. Rocket is already almost full, so that's good. And we are continuing to send all of our excess mass over there. We still have 29.3 tons of enriched uranium, so that's good. All the nuclear waste looks like some kind of alien egg. Ah, yes. Yes. The little tiny blob, just to annoy me. Probably need to come back in here and clean out some of the fallout. I will admit, this is hilarious to me. Because somehow, due to map compression with the DLC specifically, and how the game engine Unity, which ONI is made in, works, materials will technically teleport when you're not looking at the planet sometimes, is the game's calculating them in layers. And what happened with this was, as you can see, this is nuclear waste at 120 degrees. Over here is 39 degrees. 38, water, blah, blah, blah. What happened was the nuclear fallout that was down here, there's a little bit of it still left, ended up coming into contact with our cooling loop. Because the game technically teleported the resources. So what happened was it went from pretty much like 124 degrees to like negative 20. And when I tabbed back in, I saw all of this just instantly turn back to a liquid. And it's like, wait, what? And then the realization, oh, it was teleported. Got it. So now I've got little pockets of nuclear waste just kind of hanging out down here. That need to be cleaned up at some point. I'll probably have to send in my radioactive protected dupe. As another side note, dang it, I didn't show this one off yet. So if you do end up watching the series, it's very long, because again, this is unedited. For anyone on YouTube as well that are going to see this later. Yeah, these are unedited, cleanly. Whatever the fuck happens is whatever the fuck happens. I make mistakes, we repair them. But this is a weight distribution system for the nuclear reactor. This keeps the weight at 2 kilograms. Well, 2,000 kilograms, I should say. Well, technically, it's 2,000 grams. But the weight control system is also on a timer. The timer of a nuclear reactor is about 65 seconds for 2,000 grams worth of enriched uranium. So the entire system is built around a weight check to make sure that we don't end up burning more nuclear material than we need, more fissile material. And it's also self-regulating because this also takes care of the excess pressure. So everything in this is safety controlled. Also, I do have a emergency shutoff for this system, emergency shutoff for this, a remote removal of any excess uranium that may have gotten stuck on the weight plate, and eventually I was going to actually connect it on all the way up here, but I just ended up doing a timer cycle. As I said, this is what we adjust as the game gets laggier. This is pretty much our UPS check. So as the game gets laggier, the more active duration I need. That way the auto sweeper arm can properly distribute the enriched uranium to the container. But it's all weight controlled. You can technically just dump material into a nuclear reactor in this game and not care. I just prefer to keep it actually regulated, so it doesn't actually have to work that way. Obviously, this is more than enough cooling for the reactor. The problem is the pressure. So the amount of excess water that is consumed by a nuclear reactor, if I wanted to run it full tilt, I would need 6 of these things. It was 6 to 8. And all of them would have to be pressure regulated to 20. I did have to remove the steam from this room as well. We were at 600 kilograms per tile, so that took quite a while. Over here, I'm just freezing it out slowly over time. So eventually this will all be converted back into water, and then I don't know what we'll do with it. But it'll be nice once that's done, because this will mostly be a vacuum. Then I can actually probably put the bees down here, which is the original plan. I'll just put them over here in the corner. I'll probably give them 3 tiles and leave them alone. I think these guys will just kind of stay here for the time being. They have been my primary source of enriched material, so they've been very helpful. Also, I think Hellshot got stabbed by the bees again. God damn it. Doc, why are you constantly getting injured by the bees? I know why, but it's still frustrating. Rocketry supplying green thumb iron. Anemic, nope. Irritable bowels. Not great, but you're only supplying. Sorry, Steve. We'll do more pufflets. Don't really need them here either. Maybe one day I'll use them here. Everything still deep frozen? Yep. There we go. Check for medical. Nope, they're all good. I should mention that this is probably the biggest radiator I've ever built. At least in ONI anyway. Like, I built some pretty big radiators specifically utilizing solid conveyors, but never to this degree. This is actually handling 3 volcanoes right now. Soon to be 4, because I will be switching out the petroleum for supercoolant, and once that's done, then I can pretty much relax easy that I can run the other cobalt. I cannot run a copper volcano. Where is it? Yeah, this one's a no-go. Copper volcanoes are... I hate these things. Like, every other one of them, perfectly fine. Copper volcanoes work just like tungsten volcanoes, except for much worse, with way more material, and just, yeah. They just poop material. Never a fun experience to work with these things. All the other ones, no problem. Nope. The door got entombed again. Please don't tell me the toilet got entombed. No, it didn't. Let's see. Oh no, we had solid nuclear waste. God damn it. Oh well, that's fine. Remove the material. I need one more shipment of petroleum, and then we're good. About it. And I think we're gonna dig that up finally. It's like how the heat's already dissipating. I am actually very worried about the temperature up here, because this has to stay above 30. Oh no, CJ, what happened? I hope you feel better, man. Agreed. Fever and headache. Ah, oh, god damn it. Yeah, I hope you feel better, man. Okay, all of that's gonna melt shortly, so let me just preemptively remove it. Put in that plastic tile there. Bye, Sleet Wheat. I love you, but you gotta go. Oh, and then to top it all off, leg and back pain. Oh no. The terror. The combo. It's literally the combo. Oh god. Yeah, dude, I hope you feel better, man. That's never fun, that's, yeah. Oh. Apparently the vending machine also got somehow. Another high level functioning brain cells, a level which I lack at the moment. Kind of. I would say, like, memorizing, like, temperature controls is probably way above the pay grade of most people, and I wouldn't really recommend doing it. But just, like, understanding... I would say understanding pipe priority, understanding temperature controls, and knowing where to look. Like, say you want to make sure that your water isn't going to freeze on you. Like, okay, cool. So just use insulated piping. Simple. Or if you want to end up, like, temperature controlling your base, any liquid, but polluted water specifically is like your go-to for base cooling right off the bat. And I would say this is actually stupidly simple, which is really weird to say that. But it's just one giant snaking pipe that goes through all of my tiles to distribute temperature. That's it. It's just one giant cooling loop. The more interesting stuff is when you start getting into automation. But a lot of it is just not gates. Like, I hate to say this, but most of ONI is AND gates, not gates, and timers. Once you learn the timer system of how long it takes for an operation to occur, that determines how fast your timers actually go. I normally use standard pipes, actually. The reason being is, if you're doing a base cooling and you want to keep it at a reasonable temperature, like say all this nice and green area for the livable ranges, you don't need a radiant pipe for the entire thing. The only places that you would need radiant is, like, say, the fridge, where technically I've got 2 radiant pieces here, but I'm actually transferring the temperature into this cobalt weight plate, and that's what's cooling stuff. Like, technically this is affecting it, but in actuality, when you're sending a liquid through a solid tile, it cools down way more efficiently. Mostly just because the tile itself is conserving energy much better. Which is funny. Like, thermal conductivity, 100. Radiant pipe, 410 because aluminum. All of these combined, freezing everything else out. So it's really, really easy on that one. But when you look at the whole, yeah, it's a giant machine. It's just the realization that this is just one loop. That's all it is. It's just a single pipe that snakes around the base and hits all the hot areas and cools them down. That's it. The only other thing I can think of that might be somewhat difficult, obviously, as I said, is the AND gates. That's taking the liquid thermal temperature of your pipe. So all of my polluted water that's coming in here is getting checked by this sensor. And this sensor is relaying that information if it's above or below the AND gate. Then the other sensor is the ambient temperature inside the room, so these thermal aqua tuners don't explode. Because if I fuck that up, now they take damage. The worst, they get completely broken. Or in other times, they bug out and do stuff like this. Because, yeah. Trust me, I find it just as frustrating as everybody else. There's some definitely weird bugs that can happen, but a lot of the times, you can just build around them. This thermal aqua tuner is still one of the funniest things, because every time I was turning away from it, a couple patches ago, a couple hotfixes ago specifically, this thing would take damage. And the reason being was, technically speaking, it's 138 degrees worth of steam. Which, yeah, that's perfectly reasonable. It overheats 325. But the game, every time it would not focus on this planet, it would think it was in this room, where it's 1,000 degrees. Because the map was squished. Because it needs to save on memory while running. So every time that I would look away, this would start taking damage because the game was like, ah yes, the thermal aqua tuner is in a steam room. Okay, cool. Which steam room? It must be this one, because it has the most space. It was 1,000 degrees, which is way over the overheat temperature. So it was just getting annihilated. And it's like, yeah, it's an annoying bug. Nothing too terrible, but yeah, definitely one of those like, ah, god damn it. I think the other really annoying one that can happen from time to time, I do check here. That. The other one was, sure, it's not Talon, it was Drapola. Yes. So there was a bug it comes back from time to time, and that is if there is a point of interest, say a cobalt volcano or any other volcano or even event, and it was within 16 tiles of the right side of the map. If you had an object that spawned this close to the edge of the map, what was happening is this volcano was not calculating its surrounding environment. And they had volcanoes at absolute zero for a while. After the Rad New World, they had some other stuff. Yes, the Quantum Bee is definitely one of the better bugs. Like, yes, it sucks, but it does give your Doctor Perfect training dummies, aka all your dupes. And yes, Quantum Bees and Quantum Crabs are the worst thing you can experience. Besides this one. I will say that when this bug comes back, because it definitely will, and I'm going to hate every moment of it, and especially in the next playthrough when we get through this one. But what was happening was, this thing was being calculated at absolute zero. Because the layer over here on the right is one of my other planets. And the problem was every time that you would look away from this planet, you would literally get Schrodinger's cat. This thing would hit a super state. And what would happen is if it was going off, it wasn't calculating its surrounding environment. Which means the cobalt inside of it that was supposed to come out from this tile right here was calculating at absolute zero because there was no temperature transfer. You'd turn back to this room and you would notice that you now have a 1,000 kilogram chunk of absolute zero cobalt sitting in your steam room. What happened next is everything instantaneously turned to liquid and then ice. And then you were left with a vacuum. And the volcano was immediately turned off because the entire entrance was plugged. You would come back in here, remove the plug, refill the room with steam. It would happen again. And again. And again. And eventually you would just get pissed off, reply to Cly, send in shit like stuff, and then they'd be like, oh, hey, that bug, that thing, we haven't seen that since 2020. And then you're just like, I know, it fucking sucks, fix it. And then they finally came around to fixing it a couple of patches ago when they finally started working on the story bits for what we will be doing in our next playthrough. If you're now playing Oxygen Not Included, you can actually queue up these things that are like story beats, and that also fixed it because it made it so that way the devs set all POIs to 99 degrees. So no matter what happened, you will always have the material coming out at 99 degrees and above. Robot Digger in the room. The Robot Digger would normally get entombed in it. I tried it in the test lab. I tried rovers, and the rovers did a little bit better, but they couldn't mine certain things. But Sweepies got stuck or exploded. Either one. But yeah, the biggest problem obviously was that everything turned to ice and then they would get entombed. There was nothing we could do. And it was just because the devs had set points of interest at absolute zero. Like, they were not supposed to actually calculate environmental temperatures. If you went into properties, you would notice that there was not actually a specific heat capacity and there was no thermal conductivity, which there still is zero. But what was happening was because it was layered in, it would calculate that the output was supposed to be zero. And that's what caused the problems. And that, by the way, applied to every point of interest. Some of the funny ones was I did when that was going on and I was trying to get more footage specifically to do more bug reports, there was a couple of the, I think it was the polluted oxygen one was really funny. Because, let me see if I can find one here. Pretty sure I've got one on triple. Yes. So if you had a hot polluted oxygen vent that was within that 16 tile dead range, this thing would output solid dirt and immediately frozen liquid oxygen. And it was hilarious because it went everywhere. You put this thing in a box and it would just flood the entire thing because the whole thing was just pumping out just pure absolute zero solid oxygen that would instantly start warming up when it came in contact with the box. And then you would just see it all just flood until it finally started warming up enough to turn into, gaseous form. But yeah, that one was really funny. Terrifying, but really funny. Because it's just like, yes, everything it touches is going to freeze. So, yeah. Definitely a fun bug. Also being a terrifying one at the same point. Because, yeah, this one drove me nuts. It took me quite a few episodes to finally get it fixed. Especially with Cly actually going around and trying to figure out what the heck the problem was. Eventually they figured it out was a layering issue in Unity, and they set everything to 99, which, you know, it made it not awful and actually fixed the problem. But yes, quantum tunneling bees is the other big one that will never get fixed, in all honesty. Same with the crabs. So if you have poke shells on your planet, or you have bees, for instance, the betas, these guys can actually hit my dupes while they're running on the rock crusher. And the quantum tunneling bees, so any of the bees down here, I have seen them hit my dupes on the botanical analyzer. I have seen them hit them on the grill. I have seen them literally just hit them while they're just sitting inside the rec room. What happens, obviously, is that the bees, when you're not looking at a planet, and again, the map compresses, these tiles don't technically exist to the game. And the bees are on the same layer as the dupes, which means when the map compresses, there is nothing between here and any of your dupes. Yeah, I know. We've literally seen them hit them all the way on up here in space, which is hilarious. If you go back and watch it, it's just, yeah. Over the entire playthrough, there's many a times where we'll see a fleeing alert. I come over rushing immediately, and then we see them just hacking a dupe in a spacesuit in space. And they're all the way down at the bottom. They cannot be stopped now. They're murder bees. And it's really sad because I kind of wish that there was like a perk that you could get on a dupe that would allow them to be friends with the bees. I don't know how they would do it, but it would be a nice little touch. It's like, yeah, that dupe will never be targeted. I should mention this as well. The way that dupes are targeted by the bees is when you save and load the game. The game gives your dupes a random number generator, and if the dupe rolls the number that allows the bees to attack them even when they're in the suit, then they're going to be attacked constantly every time they come into contact with the bees for while the game is loaded. Once you save the game and reload the game, they are re-rolled, and sometimes you will actually have times where none of your dupes are targeted. Other times, you'll save and load, and then you'll see like 4 dupes being targeted. Why I always use doors specifically to just knock off excess, because if I see a dupe getting slammed, then I'm just going to slap it and be like, "You're targeted, dupe. You are not allowed in the B room. Come back tomorrow. Try again." So yeah, a lot of times I always roll my dupes around and then double check the doors. But if I ever see a fleeing message and it's one of them down here and they're actually being targeted while they're in a suit, then I know that they got the RNG roll. Thankfully, it can roll for dupes that are not on the planet. So if you keep your bees in one location, you only have to worry about your dupes that are on that planet. If none of your dupes are getting targeted and they've been running around for, you know, like, I mean, a lot of our playthroughs here are normally 3 to 4 hours. If none of them get targeted, you're fine for the day. If they start getting targeted, peel them out of there immediately, slam the door in their face and be like, "You are not allowed in here." Why? Because the game said it hated you today. There's nothing you can do about it until you restart the game. Sad fact of life, but that's how the cookie crumbles, so to speak. And it's definitely one of those, damn it. Especially when it's your, like, primary mechatronics builder and they're really working down there and you're just like, no! God damn it. How do you liquefy stuff like ice and snow? Do you heat it up? Normally you just heat it up. As you can see, we've been getting a lot of melting in here because we have been warming up the base slowly. You can use space heaters. You just set them on up with a thermal sensor. And you just go, if below, boom, done. I think we've been doing that. We've been just leaving Rudabo going. Yeah. Like, we went here a long time ago, and then it's just like I've left this base running pretty much independently without needing any dupes here. Let's see, how much food are we at? Paku Flay. 319,000 Paku Flays. Yeah, it's a lot of food. I don't need to worry about that one. Whenever my dupes do end up coming back here, yeah, it'll be pretty good. I do need to come back here and get a Nosh beat. Figure out what to do with the tundra biome near my base. The other thing that you can do is the thing that we did here. Just be careful. Where is it? Riddle. Because just a couple episodes ago, I was messing around and I was like, yeah, I just want to make sure that I get this warmed up enough so we can start melting ice. Not enough food. Well, I mean, it's completely independent and the Paku are running it themselves. So Just 1 sec for CJ specifically. My dupes have not been here in, God, what, 800 cycles? Yeah. The entire thing's automated and it's just the Paku. Like, literally. It's just the Paku giving me meals. Their life and death cycle has been profitable. That's all that needs to be said. Ikelin's also in the same position. 95,000 in Paku. I just leave them alone. Yep. I really should shrink their pond. Because the best kind of pond for them specifically is, like over here in Chipola, tiny little spot. You just build a little breeding pen and put them all in one little tile. Make sure that they are connected to the main base so they don't get cramped. And if possible, connect them to space. But you really only need like 3 to 4. That's it. You'll end up with thousands of Paku. And think eventually my Paku will probably actually outbeat the rest of these. My dupes are almost primarily eating the cooked seafood though, but it is starting to get more than what we are consuming. But the other thing I was going to say is, liquid tempodizer. This is your friend. This is very much your best friend when it comes down to heating up an area. The other thing is you can totally use a conveyor loader to put ice down, and then, say, on this planet, we were kind of dicking around with extremely hot iron, because I mean, we have a bunch of volcanoes, they're coming out of 1,200 degrees, and I was like, it'll probably transfer. I mean, it's a basic material. Put it in here, instantaneously, just poof. I was like, oops. Yeah, it was a little bit too much. I actually overloaded the amount of energy in this room. But yeah. Also, you can always take the ice and convert it into temperature ship plates, which is what I was planning on doing originally once we got everything running, but I just wanted to see how the iron would work. And yeah, we had a water explosion for a little bit. It was just a giant, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Whoops. Miscalculated. Totally miscalculated. My bad. Because I didn't think the iron material would actually transfer as well as it did. I was just like, yeah, it'll probably transfer. It won't be that amazing. Boom. Explodes in my face. Thankfully, it's all nice and contained, but yeah. The other thing is, if you want your dupes to be able to come in here, make sure that you set this at about 55 degrees. If you go to 60, that's when dupes start getting burned. If they're in liquid, it's 60 degrees. If they're in a gas, it's 80 degrees. Also, suits specifically, when you're... Oh yes, quite often. Mostly it's just a miscalculation in mass. Like, oh yeah, my dupes can't carry, like, 2 tons worth of 1,200 degree iron, and then they carry 3, and you're just kind of sitting there watching them just lug this giant thing, and you're just... shit, this is a bad idea. It's just... number 1 rule of Auction Not Included, as I always say here on the channel. Never trust your dupes. You can rely on them, but you should never trust them. Because they will do everything in their power to ruin every one of your plans. That is not a joke. Also, they're kind of metaphysical and can quantum travel through stuff from time to time, which is also a problem. Like, dupes can teleport through materials via diagonal doors. It's weird. Like, my dupe could probably stand here and then he could end up here. That's not a joke. I've had that happen a couple times. Ah yes, the grubs. These guys actually tend to plants. Eventually, I'm going to have all the Sweetles and the grubs in their own little area, but as of right now, they're just kind of running around all over the place. The main issue, obviously, is we want to get to this. There is a liquid sulfur geyser behind this chunk of technically magma that I have cooled down. And the problem is, well, I can't really do anything with it because, well, there's obsidian here. I can't send a rover in this room yet because they can't dig obsidian. So we're kind of screwed on that. I have to actually send a dupe in. And suits, your good old Atmos suits, they only survive up to 1,000 degrees. Oh, sorry, 1,100. Well, technically 1,099.99. If it goes to 1,100, your dupes get burned. So this area right here is safe. If my dupe stands here, because it calculates based off of their legs, this will cook them. Because it is 4 degrees technically over. Well, technically now it's, 4.7, 4.9 technically over. So if your dupe is standing on any of these things, even in a suit, they'll get cooked to death. They'll start taking damage. Which is frustrating. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, everything else is safe. It's just that if you see it hit 1,100, if it says 1,099.9, you're fine. The second it hits 1,100, your dupes will just be like, it's too hot, and then they'll just start getting literally cooked. They'll complain it's too hot, but it won't actually hurt them. But the second they touch this, it'll, bad things happen. That's when it's just everybody to the medbed. Yes, oops. But yes, it's frustrating because up here it's 1,300 degrees. So I need to get it even colder before I can even come up here to remove the sulfur. And I want that sulfur. Sulfur geysers are one of the most absurd and overpowered things I have ever seen in this game, ever since they were added. The main reason being is the sheer amount of mass and material that they produce. This thing produces 4,620.9 grams per second. Yeah, 4.6 kilograms per second. This little guy requires 10 kilograms per cycle. I think you can understand where this is going. It's per second. Also, these things have, like, no downtime. So this thing is just constantly outputting this for 426 seconds every 822 seconds. It just is almost always on and always running, and normally their downtime is between, was it 12 cycles and 18 cycles, and that is it. They just spew sulfur. And the thing is you could pretty much run like 5 grub plant like farms, like full size ones with ranches and like, the full combined stable and everything. You can run 5 of these dang things off of one of those. And if you get one of the big ones, I think one of the biggest ones I've ever seen was a 7,000 grams per second, and it had a 7 cycle downtime. That was it. It just ran all the time. It overloaded almost all my systems. I had to expand it just to make it fit. And this is all food and dirt. Like, that's the thing. This just produces food, water, and dirt, because the grubs will actually end up excreting mud. And then that turns into water and dirt. You can also steam it if you really wanted to. But you end up just getting dirt, water, and yeah. You get a lot. Like, a stupid amount. Like, 30 kilograms of dirt per grub. 30. For reference, my base is running on an average ratio of 130 tons. Yeah, 132 tons of dirt. And that's mostly pit-based. If I was running a sulfur full setup, I could quadruple that. And dirt's used in almost everything in them. Like, I'll be honest, the health of a base is based off of how much water you're producing and how much dirt you're producing. Oh yeah. I mean, the funny thing is the dupes actually find them extremely friendly, and they'll just run up to them and just pet them. Which is a little weird, because, I mean, they're huge. But yeah. And like the evolved form of the Sweetle. I still have to say, though, the more recent edition, the Cuddle Pip, is definitely the more interesting of all of them, but that's only because it technically makes it so that way getting carnivore is a lot easier. It was the only achievement we missed. But that was because we didn't have the starting creatures to do it. That would be pretty funny. If I come over here to colony summary. Yep. Still good. But the only one that we missed, we're going to get all of them, by the way, before we finish this entire playthrough. The only one we missed was carnivore. And the reason being was we did not have enough starting animals to be able to pull it. I only do random seeds here. We do not check what's ahead of time. And we had 2 pips and a single hatch. It was rough. And I was even doing technically the egg switching using hatching for at least 40 cycles. I think it was 45 cycles of the 100 cycle limit. And even with that, we were unable to do it. We were getting close, but it was just no cigar on that one. But yes, the more recent addition is the Cuddle Pip. This came out after we already hit our 100 cycle mark, but the Cuddle Pip will randomly just be like, ah yes, give me a hug. And the reason being is they will then, if they get hugged by a dupe, they will start doing this. It will start hugging the egg. When the egg is hugged, it gains a benefit. Actually, quite a considerable one. There we go. So now it has been cuddled, so it gets another 5%. And if your dupes do it, that'll be even higher. But the reason that you want to do a setup like this, and leave the doors open, this. I have a nature reserve here, which is hilarious. But we have this tiny little nature reserve, we have a recreation room here, and we have the stable here. All of the pips are pretty much completely allowed to run free in here, and all their eggs are just dropped in here automatically. The reason being is that these guys can actually move between each of the rooms and lower their amount of actual pips in here automatically. Which means that the dupes will come in here and put more pips down. Because there's technically no limit in this one. This is how you can, in theory, uncompress your pips. And the thing is the recreation room is where all your dupes will run to whenever they're not doing anything. Which means that you have higher automatic incubation rates because your dupes will actually be cuddling all of the cuddle pips. Also, I love the fact that my dupes are just surrounded by pips in here. But the thing is that the way that this works is all the pips will move over here to get food, and then they'll just kind of meander about. All of your dupes come in here and stay in the rec room, and they'll just inadvertently hug the pips. This also means that they will get the Nature Reserve bonus, which is a very powerful bonus on top of everything. And all the pips pretty much just getting taken care of automatically. The only downside to this is you don't get that much dirt. That's also why I just pretty much have naturally planted arbor trees pretty much everywhere that there are pips. I also like the new little animation they gave them. But yes. Eventually we will have more pip chambers down here, and then the bees will be down here. In here, I have no idea what I'm going to put. Possibly a niobium melter. Maybe. It could technically fit. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one. I have this large area of nothing. And then I've got plans for this and plans for that. But yes, definitely enjoy doing this setup. And for anyone else wondering, I will be putting a hot tub in here eventually. As I said, the way that I measure if a base is finished is if we have interstellar technically hot tubs. It's really the only way for me to calculate everything. Yokel doctor, ranching doctor, and suit wearing pay. And pay. If you had shown up at any point during last year, that was not when we finally got a good one, I would have taken this one. That's not even a joke. It took me a year to get a good pay. Literally. Almost over a year, actually. I started this playthrough when the Rad New Worlds update happened in October 28th, 2021. That was also when pay made it into the game. We did not get a pay until earlier this year. It's not a joke. Every one of them was terrible. It was like, oh my god, what is going on? And yeah, we just couldn't. Then I finally got 2 of them more recently. But man, that drove me insane. Like trying to get those. Oh, no. Absolutely not. Oh man. God, it was bad. And even thinking about it now, I'm like, that printing pod hated pay. Absolutely. Freaking despised that dupe. Okay, rocket's already refilled. Get that back up. Extra material. I need some, probably more plastic. We we have 1,784 tons of plastic. How are you guys doing in here? No, temperature again. Is that 31 degrees? How hot are you? CO2 might be messing with it. Let me do that real quick. Let's refill the rocket. Food's still okay, 94. 82%. You know what? That's actually perfectly fine. Okay, let's see. That's the one that we want to go to next. Or do I want to go grab more? Oh wait, no. Fullerene's ready. Never mind. Better target. More super coolant. Here. Jane, get to your rocket, please. I repeat, Jane, get to your rocket. I was just kind of hanging out. So why are you hanging out in the hydrogen? Over there. Probably should just vent that. It's not doing me any favors by just existing. Just got in our office mug, which would drop. And you go, bud. You may punch it. Okay, so it'll be 2.6 cycles-ish? 2.5. $81, $94, yeah, that's fine. That'll get him there and back, no problem. Let's head back to Freundel. Water is still kind of there. More of those, just process. I need to connect this to this and add in. Okay, that should be perfectly fine. Nope. More ice water. Drop all that excess up. Okay, cool. So that's all the petroleum I need. Means Butalin, start sending that petroleum back to main base. There you go. Well, keep doing whatever you do. Fine. Should probably clean out the core of the planet here at some point. I think I'll do that once I've eradicated all the remaining slime lung that's just kind of hanging out. Oh, hey, we broke 100,000 gold. I can plate everything in gold now. Very nice. This is probably a really dumb idea, but... kind of a butt on this one. Why not? And thing that makes me sad is knowing that even though these are all gold tiles, the only way to know that they're gold is by using the material overlay. Like the only sad part of this entire system. Let's see how much that actually impacts it. I haven't even used 10,000 of it. There. Yes, for anyone wondering, that's what gold, like a giant gold strip of just metal tiles with 50% movement speed bonus looks like on them. And then the funny thing is that's the decor bonus. So everything in here is going to eventually just be green, and I don't need to care. Probably just do that side first. I mean, 9 priority everything over here, so that way they can give better access. I am still using the radiator, and the radiator pretty much handles all the gold. But that means all the gold is in the base. So it's faster for me to just get this all nice and set up internally than deal with it on this side of the map yet. Priorities 9. All I know is life equal pain. Oh, yes. For you, that's completely understandable right now. That is sickness and pain. All of the above. How's the decor over here? Ah, improving. Still gonna be pretty bad near the heavy wire, but I mean, all of that's made out of gold, so like the whole base is pretty much cobalt and gold. Very good for conducting temperatures. They really are kind of just being decor bombed at this point. Totally not needed, it's just nice. 9 priority some of these. That way they'll get around to doing them and not prioritize them completely. I do want these upper ones. So the dudes can get around to doing those next. No, these ones? These are gas tanks. This is a very large-scaled filter specifically for 3 different types of gases that I was switching between. Ah, gotcha. Oh, I think you're full bladder. Yep. Oop. Move it. Ah, I gotcha. Just double checking Dupe's bladder values. 40 and... okay. Run, buddy, run. There you go. Let your team handle it. You can do it. Okay, we will not be sending any more petroleum over here for a while. Only need to send... we've got enough petroleum. I just need to send nuclear waste. Make use of a cool steam vent that's surrounded by slime. Any ideas? Oh, one moment. Ta-da! This is your friend. Thermal aqua tuner. Gas pump. Liquid pump. Hydro sensor. And a temperature shift light. That's a vent. Full steam vent. A geyser would be a red grounded one. But yeah, this is the vents. Automation wise, you're looking at either metal tiles or window tiles here. I use diamond because best transfer. You can use metal tiles as well. I would probably say aluminum. So, but you want a door here, and the reason being is you want a mechanized airlock. Mechanized airlock is connected to a thermal input near the steam vent. When this is below 20 degrees, this door is actually going to open. If I set it for above, you'll see how it immediately shifts. The reason being is the cooling is happening in this chamber here, and the transfer is happening over here. When this door is open, this is a vacuum. There is no temperature transfer between this door and this cooling chamber, or this area here. Then, obviously, we set the amount to 800, because that's how much we want as excess water sitting on top of it. And the steam vent will overpressurize time to time, but it won't overpressurize if your tanks are not full. So as these drain out, this thing will just keep running and converting back into water almost immediately. Obviously, I did switch. You can use ethanol, and that's what I was originally using, which is why these pipes took damage in the first place. Was because we were just trying to cool it down in the first place. But the main thing is, you can use petroleum, you can use ethanol, you can use naphtha. Naphtha's a little bit finicky. I would not use polluted water, mostly because the temperature you want in here is to be maintained as cold as possible on this side, and about 20 degrees-ish for usable water on this side. Again, automation-wise, it's just an AND gate, thermal sensor, 280, and negative 190 for supercoolant. For ethanol, it's like, what, negative 80 or whatever? Roughly. That's where you want it to be sitting at, but it'll never reach that point. When it comes down to thermal aqua tuners, you can use gold amalgam. I don't recommend it, but you can. So if that's the only thing you have access to, gold amalgam definitely is an option. Definitely rushing steel is the best option. When I say rushing steel, I do literally mean rushing steel, even using polluted water as a coolant, which is risky as all hell, but can be worth dividends. I did it at the beginning of the playthrough as a show that you can do it. I don't recommend it, but I actually had a steel chamber like in this little area here, and we were processing steel using just polluted water. You could only do one batch of steel, so 50 kilo, like, or sorry, was it 100 kilograms? Which was it? Yeah, 70 iron for, yeah, 100 kilograms worth of steel every, like, half to 1/3 cycle. Because then you had to wait for it to cool down, because it was that hot. But yes, you can totally use water. Personal recommendation, if you can get early plastic, use naphtha. Early rush to naphtha is definitely worth the effort. And also getting naphtha is somewhat easy. You can either melt it down in material form, or once you get your temperature ship plate, you can just go down here to a plastic temperature ship plate and shove it anywhere near your core. Oh, you got a student. Hey, Sleepweed blooming. Neat. Don't really do anything, but neat. But yes, I was going to say is, if you want to rush naphtha, you totally can. Just make sure that if you put it near, say, the core of your planet, if you're on a regular planet and not a frozen core, then just make sure that you don't put it on top of any abyssalate that is, well, you know, well within range to immediately convert the naphtha into sour gas. So say, let's see, pretty sure I've still got some around. Yes, I do. So this is too hot. Don't let the naphtha touch this. This is how naphtha explodes. Technically speaking, you can diagonally do this. So the trick that I do normally is, if you removed this tile here and you were to shove a temperature shift plate made out of plastic right here, what would happen is is the actual plastic, the temperature shift plate pulls from this much space. And guess what tile is currently being touched by the 1000 degrees, but not actually touching it? Right here. What happens is this will instantly convert into naphtha, but it won't gain any more temperature because it stops being a actual temperature shift plate. So what'll happen is this will instantaneously vaporize the plastic into naphtha, but it'll only go to naphtha. So it'll only hit melting point, which is 159.9. And it'll be sitting on top of 44 and 44.9. So it's actually safe by doing it that way. But that is one of the really only, like, technically easy ways to rapidly create naphtha immediately when you start. If you want to avoid having to use polluted water for metal refineries. Because you can actually get plastic pretty early on, as long as you have Drecos. If you have Drecos, give them some mealwood, and they will eventually create a glossy Dreco. As you can see, 95% chance. And these guys, when they're born, they can be sheared immediately for plastic. So you could technically rush a cooling loop worth of naphtha for steel. Which would be very, very good, actually, in all honesty, because that's pretty much what we did. And yeah, I could have done it a little bit more efficiently, but it was definitely the right call to do it. And then, obviously, I did the polluted water just as an explanation of, here's how you do it. I don't recommend it, but if you're in dire straits or you're doing some sort of, like, challenge mode or anything like that, just do it this way. Like, don't think that polluted water can't handle it. It can. It can only handle one every, like, half cycle. Don't do any more than that, or it will literally explode in your face. So, yeah, that's a thing. Now then, let's see. Train bug running around. Butta's been doing a pretty good job on that one. Gene, how you doing? 0.9 cycles. You're almost there. And we've already cleaned everything out of there. Yep. Put that back to auto and then deconstruct. Also, if you ever want to make natural tiles, manual airlock, made out of copper. Or gold amalgam, either one. I normally do copper. Copper is a 25 firm. Tips can plant in it. This is probably the least tedious way of doing this, which is funny and sad at the same point. The other way that you can make natural tiles is either using coal and instantly vaporizing it into refined coal, which isn't good for actually building in, but it's great for when you're running hydrogen rockets. And then the other one is algae. Algae, when cooked, turns into dirt. And if you put a 100 kilogram pile of algae inside of a storage container and then remove said storage container, then you cook the algae, what'll happen is that the algae will actually turn into a dirt tile. So a lot of I've done that, I think I've done that for 6 total sleet wheat farms, and then I hated doing it ever since because it's just a pain in the ass. Because you have to heat the thing on up and then cool it back down. And that's not a fun experience to do. So it's just faster and easier for me to just say, screw it and build doors. Not genetic ooze. Where is the algae? There. The algae at 125 degrees turns into dirt. And if you have a 100 kilogram tile, or well, material worth of algae sitting on top of a tile, it will instantly convert that into a dirt natural tile. Which is very good. Then obviously you've got to cool it the heck down. Which, for some of these things that I've been building, can be really, really massive. Like, for instance, there is going to be a natural sleet wheat farm. It goes all the way down here. So cooking the entire area would drive me insane. I've done this before. It's not a fun experience. So that is a lot of sleep. Very nice. Also may need to reconnect the system again. I'm super tempted to just disconnect the whole thing. Still need to send over more super coolant too, because I need to make sure all of the pipes are going. Eventually this cooling loop, once this mess is taken care of, will be converted over for the Sleep Beat farm. And then I really won't have to worry about food ever again, because, yeah. This is enough sleep wheat in this much space to probably feed like 70 dupes every single cycle. Gonna be a little dumb. Oh, alright, Proto. How much lead are you getting hit with? I'm sorry, bud. The shine bugs kinda need to go. It's not terrible. I think I'll leave them for now. If they become too much of a hassle for Proto, I'll just eat them out of existence. And we have a lot more materials I need to clean on up here. Plastic, very good. Where are we at now? Ooh, 170,000 rads are reproducing. 28,000 rads per cycle. Oof. We're getting there. The Geiger counter is going absolutely nutty, which is expected. Okay. I think once we really start pushing this system... let's see. I need... you to connect to you and send that through. I know it's not enough radiation. I know. I mean, this is an insane amount of radiation when you think about it. Like, that is absurd. That is an absurd amount of rats. And a, like, 5 meter by 5 meter cube. But I know we can go bigger. We technically can go infinitely bigger. Because there is no limit on this. There's not even a theoretical limit on how much radiation can be output by a single tile in this game. So, in theory, it's just congratulations. The sheer amount of radiation that can be output by this one single tile is near infinite. Or until the game crashes. Thankfully, it probably won't. But I've got probably. I went over the bit integer limit, and it didn't die. Testing specifically. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Might need to... yeah, I'll probably send over more petroleum later. I'm about to finish up, though, so that is up to you, Triple Strike. It's currently 7:43, and we're at 2087. I think I'll let the cycle burn through, and then we'll go. I think that'll be it for this episode. What? No, AM. Goodness no. That up. Yep. Finally seeing green. I've been streaming since 10 p.m. I've been going, sorry, not 10. Technically midnight, actually, this time around. It would have been 10, but yeah. No, for the stream duration, we've been going for 7 hours. 7 hours and 42 minutes. I normally stream from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. I was delayed because I had to do a bunch of cleanup around the house. So I had to start a little bit late. Also, before I forget, we do this and head to... Where's the playlist? There we go. Fair enough, man. Fair enough, CJ. That. And paste this for you. And that shows it correctly. There you go, Triple Strike. There's the entire series so far. Pretty sure that link works properly. It's far too much to watch. That is fair. As duly noted, this is the only reason that these are recorded and thrown up onto YouTube is because my subscribers wanted unedited stuff. So technically speaking, I'm getting paid to actually upload that. Not much, but I am. As a content creator, technically speaking, even though streaming is my hobby, and not merely a job, at least not for me anyway, I at least have an obligation to do that. If they asked me for edited videos, then I would have done that. But they wanted unedited ONI episodes of an entire playthrough, no matter how long it takes. I was like, are you sure? And everyone said yes. So, there is that. Yes, feel free to watch that at your leisure. It is long as all hell. I fully admit that. How's our temperatures looking like? I'm gonna need to start sending nuclear waste over. It's still too cold in the area. Also, Helen, you are sending petroleum over to main base, right? Let's not send any of that. And let's reconnect this and separate. There we go. And we'll stop sending plastic for the time being, because I need pure nuclear waste being sent off pretty much immediately. And then once it gets here, we'll immediately reconnect everything else. Okay. That should be everything I wanted to get done for tonight. So I have a lot more mass to clean up over here, and, well, most of this, I'm kind of like, probably should let it melt, but then I need to get rid of all the carbon dioxide. There's still a lot of it down there that needs to be removed. But we're getting there. I need to finish the farm. I'm pretty content with that as a whole. Let's drop down to save here real quick. 2088. Feels good though. I feel like we're getting very close to being able to call this entire playthrough as mission complete. Yeah. Feels good though. Feels really good. That and that. Oh, but yeah. I will turn off the nuclear reactor before I do anything else as well, just in case. I do that right now. I don't want that thing exploding on me. There we go. Cycle 288. There we go. Okay, chat and YouTube. I think that's it for episode 122. That's actually quite a bit done, and a lot more micromanagement on Bridal, as well as the start of getting nuclear waste over there to get the roof generator ready and up and running. I'll take it.